Hey, welcome to TV Squad. Thank you for turning on the channel to flick on us because we love to travel through time, travel to space because we go all around the world to get your favorite TV shows and everything. And so I'm Chase. I'm joined once again by the lovely Faye.
Hello.
And the magnificent Phil.
Magnificent. I've got something to live up to there. Great to see you.
Yeah, so Sean is sick today, so it's just a triad and everything with us and everything. But like either way is, we got some magnificent shows to discuss and everything. And so we're going to always start where we start, where we are in the UK. So we start with UK telly classics. So what's our classic UK telly, Phil?
This week's UK telly classic is Hustle.
The Hustle, man.
From 2004.
2004. And like, I had just got here to Liverpool at the, a couple of years before, but it was like an amazing show for me. It had the lead actor. It was black. Adrian Lester.
Yeah, and an American in a lead role as well. So
is he American?
No, not Adrian Lester. Another actor who's an American in a lead role. That must have made you feel at home.
Who's that?
Napoleon Solo.
Oh, of course, man. But he's not on The Hustle.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my. No,
yes.
no. Napoleon Solo played by Robert Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Robert Vaughn,
you know why? I'm getting him mixed up with Philip Glenister. That's
why. No. I'm thinking Robert Vaughn. I thought he'd have made you feel at home as well, being an American guy.
Yeah, so. Well, no, exactly. But, I mean, actually, Adrian Lester did do an American movie with John Travolta, Primary Colors.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he was in that one and everything like that. So,
yeah.
But this was fantastic because I love these kind of puzzle type of shows, you know, which is like, so it's about hustlers, which was a popular thing that was going on because like Darren Brown, I think he started coming out around this time.
Yeah.
Him
That's
and
true.
him and the Magic Man. Who's the Magic Man? You know. Not Russell Brand, but the guy.
David Copperfield.
David Blaine.
Yeah,
David Blaine.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, they had a lot of street hustlers going on.
Yeah.
And everything. But this was like about a group of con artists, you know, like doing kind of like the Robin Hood thing and stuff like that.
That's right.
You know, and which was great is that they would lay out the plan. You think you knew the plan. The plan's going wrong. Right, but it's not really going wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because then they do the whole like, so this is really what happened.
Plot twist.
Yeah. What do you call that? That's what I call it, the puzzle and stuff like that.
Right,
you know, but that's what the show was and everything. Can you tell us anything about the Hustle there, Phil?
Well, it was a glossy magazine, wasn't it? It was beautifully produced.
Magazine.
Beautifully produced.
Wow.
Great image, wonderful visuals, and really slickly produced. I felt really classic kind of style, with some great leads in it. Mark Warren. Was Jamie, the beautiful Jamie Murray, who I'd forgotten all about until I reviewed it recently.
Yeah, you had forced to watch. Yeah, and stuff.
Fantastic. Robert Glenister, as you mentioned, Philip Glenister's brother.
Wait a minute, Robert Glenister is Philip Glenister's brother?
Absolutely.
There are two Glenisters?
Absolutely, yeah.
So wait a minute, is Philip Glenister the one that was on Life on Mars? Then?
Yes, indeed.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I didn't even know they were brothers.
Yeah.
Are they twins or something?
No, they're not twins, just brothers. Yeah.
All right, I could say people look alike.
Woo!
I did not know that there were two of them. I'm sorry.
Did you really say that?
No, I did. I did. I said
revenge,
I could say it.
This is called revenge.
I said I could have said it.
I love it. But also, of course, the fantastic Robert Vaughn, who I watched in my childhood as Napoleon Solo. And he brings, again, that touch of American class to the whole thing.
Well, for me, I mean, he's famous for Magnificent Seven, so
of course, too.
you know,
Absolutely right.
and everything.
Absolutely
you know,
right. Absolutely
he was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, but how many series did they have? Like
There
3?
were. I
think
didn't
they had
know
like
that
3,
down. There were 8 seasons actually, 48
8?
episodes. Yeah,
Damn.
That's right.
Wait,
yeah.
8 episodes or 8 series?
No, 8 seasons.
How many episodes?
48 altogether. Adrian Lester doesn't appear, and I think it's possibly 3 out of the 8. He drifted off and did some other work, and then came back in again. You know.
Wow.
But the style of it is superb.
But these are also only like about 5 to 6 episodes a season.
Yeah, it's fairly short. That's
so
right.
it's not like
yeah.
the American.
How long are each episode?
They're an hour, yeah.
That's a lot though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even for like that many episodes and that many seasons.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. All written and created by a guy called Tony Jordan. Do you know anything about Tony Jordan's background?
Well, that's around the time. No, I don't know his background, but that's around the time where I started to discover, because being recent over here from America, this started how TV shows were creator led. Like you know, like where in America they're more showrunner.
Sure.
I come up with the idea, then I have a team of writers.
And then a team.
But here, like the writer comes up with the idea, and then he only has to create like 4 to 6 episodes.
That's right.
And it's all his.
That's right.
You know,
That's
pretty
right.
much.
That's
and everything.
right.
But why? What's his background?
I don't know, so I was asking.
Okay,
I don't know much about the guy, no, but I was just so impressed with it.
Yeah.
And it references so much stuff. Obviously, I mean, the first episode, they get a new guy asking to be on the team, and Adrian Lester goes, "Well, what you mean? You've seen the Sting, then? Yeah, have you? You think you know what you're doing?" So they're all constantly referencing those sort of things right out front there.
It's what we call meta, isn't it?
Meta.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous!
Good old
Of
meta.
course, that makes sense. Yeah, but also calling on the style of Ocean's 11, maybe you could say, probably.
I think this is before Ocean.
Mission Impossible.
Well, definitely Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
because it's definitely, like I
absolutely.
said about, you know, it was a lot of it was the plan is gone awry.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
everything. And I think that's the the point of good planning is you got to be on Plan D while other people trying to figure out Plan B,
Spot on.
right? So like in that aspect is that, you know, you could never see them sweat, but they looked like they was sweating because, you know, you had to be worried, you know, or something like that.
Excellent.
So, no, but it still was a good show. I mean, like, I think it's a show that definitely needs, like, coming back, you know, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's with the original cast or, you know, remaking it. Because
It's a great concept, isn't it? I totally agree.
Is there like
it would
a big
work.
following of the show, even like still today?
I think at the time it was very,
Very
very
big.
popular, really big.
8 series, so definitely.
Yeah,
Damn,
exactly.
Yeah, so yeah.
And there was also that kind of knowing way that they produced it in terms of constantly breaking the fourth wall, looking at the camera, talking to the camera,
Oh, I like that.
even reviewing a section and going through, did you see what happened there? And that was really clever. And
That's a very Ellery Queen kind of thing to do.
Yeah, excellent. I remember Ellery Queen from
I
way back
love
then.
that. Oh my God, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so
got to do that at some point.
Got all that going on. It's well worth looking at, worth following up on.
Yeah.
Not sure where I got it from. Where did I watch it? I think it was on Prime, I think. I'm sorry, I haven't noted down the platform. It's definitely available though. I've actually been on
BBC.
all 4 or ITV Hub. Actually, I don't think.
Well, I know you watch Now TV a lot.
Yeah, I never used to. Yeah, that was never
No,
allowed
I
in
mean,
my
like,
house.
you've probably seen it on there, no?
I think it was on one of the hubs actually. I don't think there's any charge for it. So
BritBox?
might have
Ooh,
been.
BritBox.
Might have been
Yes,
BritBox.
yes, BritBox.
Might well have been.
See,
BritBox.
where is Sean when you need him?
Sorry,
you know
yeah,
it's
exactly.
on. You know this show's
Come back
on.
soon,
you
Sean.
know this show's on BritBox
Yeah.
and everything. You know what I
I
mean?
think you're right though. Fo. I think it was.
Yeah,
BritBox,
yeah. More than
That was
likely.
actually a guess.
No,
I don't
well,
really know.
come on, it's British.
Yeah, true. It's gonna be
Yeah,
on BritBox,
that's
guys.
right.
So anyway,
Check it out.
so
guys.
that's the hustle.
Yeah.
And everything. But now this is an interesting pick that I put on the list. Because I felt that when we usually do US Telly, we usually do something, I wouldn't say like current, but recent. But then I thought, I'm going to dig back into the crates.
You certainly
back
did with
into
this one. You certainly did.
Go back into my childhood and everything like that, you know, and everything. So I figured we're going back into the 70s in US Telly.
74. I was still at school.
You were in school.
You were still in flipping short
I was
pants.
in Catholic school. That shows you
I
how
wasn't
far
even
back it was.
born. I wasn't here.
Oh.
So
Cute.
it must have been some good times. Good times. Ooh, dynamite.
Show us the moves, bro. Go. You
Oh
go.
man, no. So anyway, what I was saying with Phil was what I thought what was interesting traits about Good Times is because Good Times was a part of those series in this time in '74 where Norman Lear was like the head of like NBC in America, but he was good friends with Verity Lambert, who was the head of the BBC over here, and and what they had decided to do was, hey man, I'm loving your British sitcoms, and like I would like to take some of those and remake them and do them over in America. And so you took Steptoe and Son, become Sanford and Son. You took
Till Death Us Do Part.
Till Death Do Us Part, and made it All in the Family.
Yeah.
And All in the Family then became pretty much like the number one show, because it was like a tree where all these other shows bent down from.
You called it like a universe, didn't you? A whole universe of different shows all linking into each other. You mentioned that before, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, fabulous, yeah.
No, exactly. Because then what happened was that apologies. Then what happened was that they begat and begat and begat. So they had Good Times, which was starring Esther Rolle. And like she was a maid for Edith's cousin, who was Maud,
right?
And she was a conservative woman,
right?
And she had her own show. They had Neighbors, which were the Jeffersons,
right?
Who were kind of like uppity, black people, right? They always had an argument with Archie,
oh,
right? They never got along.
Did you say that equated to Love Thy Neighbor?
Exactly, which was exactly like Love Thy Neighbor.
Okay, yeah.
But then also what was funny was, I was telling Faye, because this is like in the 70s, as you say, like 75, right, is that the Jeffersons, when they got their own show, they moved out of, I think they lived in Brooklyn, and they moved on up to the east side.
Right, okay.
Moving on up to the east side. And so in 75, me and my family, we moved on up to the east side. We moved on up to Central Park.
Woo!
We lived in the Tower Block.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Break
So break free from Harlem.
Yeah.
Just go across 110th Street. You know what I'm saying? But so it was interesting to me that this whole aspiration.
Yeah.
In
course,
poverty,
of course,
was the thing,
of course, yeah.
And this was like what we aspired to, all this comedy in being poor and stuff like that.
Yes,
indeed,
yeah.
But they were a family. They were a strong family. They were a family that stayed together. And then Faye, you did a lot of research on this, which was interesting. So tell us about what the research you were looking into.
So, like, when I was doing some digging into some of the episodes, because I didn't watch all of them, just a couple of episodes, now and again.
Yeah.
I read some of the comments, and a lot of people said that, like, the parents for them was, like, I don't know how to word this, like, how they, like, wanted things to be, and, like, strict but firm and loving. And it was, like, I love the parent characters in the show. I think they're really well done.
They had a lot of corporal punishment, but that was how it was back then.
That was the times, yeah. That was the times.
That was the times. I'm going to get my belt. No, Daddy, don't.
It's scary to remember it, really, isn't it? Yeah,
Did you grow up with the belt there, Phil?
I grew up with the cane.
The sugar cane?
Oh.
Hell no.
The switch cane?
Yeah.
Go out and get your own switch so I can hit you with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, Faye, look what you missed out on.
Darn.
You just only had
Wow.
those naughty nuns.
The naughty step and then the scary nuns.
Mind you.
Faye, get on that naughty step right now.
Okay.
Did that work?
Probably with me. I just be like, oh, cool. I'm just going to hit here for a bit.
I
Bye.
think the scary nuns would have definitely worked for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Give me the cane.
Now I have an irrational fear of nuns for the rest of my life,
I'm
but that's
not
fine.
surprised.
I told you I went to Catholic school, so I was telling Faye we were talking about the religious punishment. We couldn't talk too much about that on camera. So anyway,
Whoa.
Oh, no.
y'all know it's true. Anyway, go back to good times. Let's stay in the good times.
Good
Faye.
times.
Yeah.
I was just struck that it was obviously a massive precursor from what I saw of it, which is again was fairly limited because I could only get it on YouTube in its sort of short, sharp, shots sort of thing. But I just thought it looked like a huge precursor to so much that must have followed on from that. Obviously, the obvious things being things like the Cosby Show later on in the.
We don't talk about the
my
Cosby
God.
Show. We don't talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the
Well,
Cosby Show
yeah,
here.
but
We don't, but we did.
Yeah,
and
of
like it was a
course.
precursor.
yeah.
Did, but this is it.
All right, okay. Faye.
And I was quite surprised actually to see an all black show in 1974-75. I didn't realise that it even existed because it didn't make its way over here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, because like the thing about it is because Good Times did maintain, even in its extras, supporting cast members, a lot of black storylines,
Excellent.
whereas the Jeffersons had to always encounter the white characters because
Gotcha.
they were living in the white world, so to speak.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But Good Times, you're living in the black world.
Sure,
So,
sure thing.
like it's rare that you would, get the white person coming into their house.
Sure.
And stuff like that,
Yeah,
But they had some serious storylines, like you were talking about when JJ got shot. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he gets shot, but it's like played up for laughs, and like
Yeah.
it's like a big.
Well, how else you gonna play it?
No,
You
but
gonna
like-
kill the most popular character,
No,
or
but
you just
like,
gonna shoot him?
on the like as if you watch that episode, like in that moment, it's like the actors are playing it dead serious.
Well,
but
we're talking pathos at that
Yeah.
point, aren't we? I guess. Yeah.
and then like they
absolutely.
just add the laughing track, and then even during the sentencing of the person who committed the crime, it's
Right.
played for laughs. And I'm
Right.
kind of there like,
Wow.
Well, yeah,
heavy,
but
it's
you know-
heavy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Well, they
Yeah.
must have known that, like, because after that you were talking about like different actors wanted to leave the show,
yeah,
but that they must have known, like, because James, played by John Amos, the father, like they killed him off, and that wasn't played for laughs at all.
no,
Wow.
that
'Cause
was
that
like
was
dead
that was
sad.
like a mic drop.
That was
Wow.
yeah. It was
So what
actually
happened?
quite
What
sad.
happened there?
Wow.
So it's like they're at this like big party and they get like these like little fax letters, and some of them are like, oh, great party, but I don't want to be there kind of fax. And then it's like all laughs and stuff, and then his wife reads the note and says, we'd like to inform you that your husband has passed away. He's been in a car accident. But it like the tone just drops, and I was like, oh, that's actually really good. So I kind of wish there was more of that
Yeah.
Wow.
in that show. That's all I thought, but I did enjoy it.
Amazing.
But then also too is what Faye didn't know was when I mentioned Janet Jackson.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Janet Jackson is Michael Jackson's sister. But she little Janet Jackson when she was like around 12, 13, I think it was.
Right.
She played neighbor next door, Penny, who I think there was some abuse issues and everything as well.
What? Really? In the story? Wow.
Yeah,
Blimey.
man. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say, man.
Wow.
I mean, this show really covered. I mean, they just said, "Hey, listen, it's called Good Times, but it's actually bad times."
We're
Well,
gonna
There's
yeah.
get
always some
serious
bad
stuff.
times
Yeah.
because they always never had money. They always were starving.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
always had to struggle, right?
Yeah.
But then it was like, as a family, we'll get through it all.
Amazing.
You know what I
which is-
mean?
Amazing.
yeah.
Really
and
amazing.
stuff like that. So it was very powerful.
Was
show.
it groundbreaking for American TV? Was it?
Well, yeah, because as you just said about like the black families, you didn't really see that. I mean, like we're talking about 74 going on. Like, what's interesting is because I was like working on the story now, whatever. But what's interesting is in the 60s, well, basically 50s and 60s, you always had the white families,
Sure.
Yeah.
and it always had like the father was at home. Everybody wore clothes at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
You know how you
separate
go
beds.
home and
yeah.
oh, twin beds, yeah, and
That's
all
right.
that.
That's right. The Lucy,
know,
the
but-
Lucy show or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
but the point is that the family always had a problem to solve, and they solved it together and everything like that. And so black families had to watch that. So you're looking at this and say, yeah, that ain't my dad. Actually, I don't know where my dad is.
Sure. Sure.
And stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in that fashion, is that where was our representation
Yes.
until Cosby came along?
Yes.
Don't say his name again.
That's twice now.
Watching you.
That's twice
She's
now.
watching me. She's watching.
Watching you.
Get out. Get out.
Watching.
But the point, or Julia, Diane Carroll.
Oh,
But
that was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
forgotten
yeah, yeah.
Julia. Yeah, that was
yeah,
really
most
good.
people have.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's
there was no family representation.
No.
Of a family
until Good Times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything. So it's kind of like that.
Well, that worked. I thought it was really, really brilliantly done.
Yeah,
In front
I mean,
of a live
despite-
TV audience
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Live
exactly.
audience. Yeah.
Despite being poor and destitute, it still was a family.
Yeah. Yeah,
And everything like that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that came out of that show though was have you ever heard of the Dozens?
No.
Why do I feel like I've heard of that?
that doesn't-
Because it's like about how like people started like snapping on each other. You make fun of your mama's so fat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have like a dozen jokes.
Yeah.
So it become and then they turned it into like a MTV hip hop show, like a battle show.
Yeah.
Not like lip sync battle, but you like you battle each other by telling jokes on each other.
Yeah.
Yo mama this, yo mama that, all that other kind of stuff.
So it came from there.
Yeah, the Dozens.
Wow.
Yeah, that came from that show.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, well worth digging out, I think, really. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting hold of. Did you say you've got it? Have you got it downloaded? Did you get it downloaded?
No.
It's not easy
I don't know where to find. I don't know where to find that.
No,
show.
it's not easy to find, but well worth making the effort for, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So what's next, Phil?
So next up, we've got the superhero section.
Uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh-oh. Now,
Who
Phil,
on
first-
earth thought of Guardians of Justice then?
first of all, it's on Netflix. That's why I thought about it.
Yeah.
And when I saw the trailer first, whatever, it had that silhouette pose of the heroes like the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know, and everything. So I'm like, oh, I'm watching this and everything. And took me a minute. But first of all, give your reaction before I give mine, Phil.
well, the good thing about it is it's in half-hour sections, which quite surprised me actually, which was good because it meant you could dip in, dip out, you know, and it wasn't a major commitment on time. It was pretty wild. It was off the rails, man. It was a juxtaposition of, in terms of the way it looked, a juxtaposition
It had a lot
of
of
styles.
it had a lot of different. I like to say it had a lot of different like camera stocks. You know, because it was live action, it was cartoon.
That's right.
It was claymation.
That's right.
Oh.
All
It was
sorts of- that's
what
right.
did they call that? Dot matrix. Like a computer, you know, like
CGI.
yeah. But I mean, it was like
Motion capture.
yeah. Hold up. Yeah. So I mean, like so it was crazy like that, but like the story is even crazier, right?
Oh.
Because I thought, you know, like when it starts out in live action, and you're thinking, oh wow, they're gonna really they're gonna. So the Superman character is called Marvelous Man, and he's actually played like I would just say played by an Asian character.
He is, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And everything with a big muscle suit, so you know he's an over muscle suit. So it had kind of like that origin where he started back in the war, and
That's right.
you know, like he, you know,
Oh, there's a
had
third
to
World
fight.
War. There's a third World
No,
War.
no, the third,
Yeah,
yeah, because
the-
it's the fourth one
it-
coming.
as the
right, it's the
backstory,
third
yeah.
World War,
Yeah.
and
1947, I think.
and Hitler's a robot.
That's right.
What?
That's right.
Damn.
Hitler's the big, you know,
What?
big like yeah, robot. Anyway, and
And I'm going, what the?
So he takes him out, and he's like, you know, like the hero of the world and everything. Everybody like loves him, and then I guess they form like the Guardians and all this kind of stuff.
He's basically taking care of humanity at this point, isn't he?
But he's depressed.
He's absolutely depressed.
Right in the beginning, he's depressed and everything, and he comes on TV, and everybody's watching him.
Spoiler alert.
No, come on, it's the first
It's
episode.
the whole story, I know.
Spoiler.
I'm not. How is it spoiler? It's the first episode.
Spoiler.
It's gonna make Faye watch it.
Okay, I'm letting you off one spoiler. It's okay.
So anyway, so he's all depressed and everything, and he it's not a kryptonite bullet. They call it calcinite.
Yeah, calcinite. That's right. Yeah,
And everything.
whatever, yeah.
Because his name's Cal. And, anyway, so he kills himself, suicide, you know, and everything like that
On
telly
TV. Yeah,
and
on live
everything.
TV,
So everybody's
yeah.
like all shocked. Oh, what's happening? What
The
happened?
world is going to fall apart at this point.
Exactly, you know. And so then it's kind of like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And so Nighthawk, who was like Batman,
He
with
was
his
his
scraggly beard.
sidekick, wasn't he, originally? Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird because it's
Yeah.
like they met in the fight and
Yeah.
everything, and then they come together. Because you know, if you remember, like the Authority and everything, there was that whole homoerotic kind of scenario with Apollo and the Midnighter and stuff.
Yeah.
So they didn't go there. Anyway,
Oh.
I'm just saying. So yeah, I gotta find out what happened to Marvelous Man.
Wait, so are them two lovers in this series?
No, I don't know.
Well, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
That may come out later. Huh?
Might come out later. Anyway, so like the whole point is, so he's trying to, now they have this villain called Anubis, who is like the Anubis Queen, right? Female villain. And like you would think that, that she would have a bunch of Egyptian henchmen. but the henchmen are Ku Klux Klan wearing hoodies.
I didn't get that far.
Crazy.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, and then the black president's name Newcomb.
That's right.
Wait, the president's called Nukem?
As in Duke Nukem, yeah.
Like
yeah.
Duke?
Blank E. Nukem. And he's played by the black guy who was in the original Stargate TV show.
That's right, yeah.
And everything like that, which I thought it took me a minute to figure that out.
That's right, yeah.
But then
it's wild.
It's wild.
And
then so Darkhawk or whatever his name is, Nighthawk
yeah.
decides to send in his old kid sidekicks. So he got this guy who's now an adult named Red Talon, right? Who looks like the Red Hood, right? But he had the origin story of Dick Grayson, whose family died in a circus. But he's this big muscle-bound actor guy who just keeps lifting stuff. Listen, man, leave me alone. And he goes around and he shoots people in the heads all the time.
Right, so is this like a parody?
It's really hard.
This is
really
serious.
hard
This
to
is a serious
categorise it.
superhero show.
That's why I was left a bit stranded. Are they taking the mick at this point
Is
or
it based
not?
off of anything?
But it's so well done.
No. This guy named Adi Shankar
Yeah.
was the guy who created this show. Supposedly he's been on Collider and the Schmodown. I was like, I couldn't believe that. And he actually makes an appearance in episode 5.
Oh, right, okay.
In the cold opening. He said, hey, listen, man, I'm going for it. I don't care. I'm going to be in my own show. Right? But either way you look at it, it's just phenomenal. I mean, like, the fights that are happening between heroes and villains, they do the whole fatality. You know what I mean?
So it's like really stylized and stuff.
Totally.
Hell yeah.
Totally.
It's like do you remember Kung Fury? There was a thing called Kung Fury. It's like that. Anyway.
Like a game?
No, it was some crappy movie.
I won't know it.
And
it's well worth a look, is what I would say.
Yeah.
I was floundering, but I was thinking this
but
is
either
amazing.
way, everybody that Darkhawk whatever sends, to take out the villains. The heroes all like die. Like they got a Spider-Man character. They got everybody.
Speed.
This is beautiful.
Speed. They're trying to find Motion Blur, who's like on coke, and he's running around taking all these kids drugs and shit. And they keep showing that his heart like, where's Motion Blur? He's like,
Crazy.
Right?
I want to check this out now.
You gotta watch it.
Absolutely.
You really
Gotta watch it. I'm still watching it, but I'm just trying to
beautiful.
say is that this show is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We have to come back and I tell you how it ends because I don't
think
know
it's
how
a
it
good
ends.
call. We'll do that.
Because there definitely is a mystery of what's going on here, and I need to know.
On a need-to-know basis. You
Oh
need to
yeah,
know.
you need to know. But this is on Netflix, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, binge this, man, because it's bingeable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I say, half-hour slots.
That's
It's
right.
well worth investing an evening for sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
All right.
So that's Guardians of Justice there, and we will come back to that.
Yeah.
Animation. Then should we move on to that section?
That'll be you, there, baby.
This is moving over to Faye. Here we go.
So this week we're talking about Smiling Friends, made by Zach Halden and Michael Klusak. I probably butchered those names, and I am terribly sorry.
You tried to take a dip into this one, didn't you?
I absolutely did. I'm a
I
trooper. I'll do anything for the
So
cause.
sorry.
Faye and I,
He
Faye
did it
and
for
I-
me. He did it
So
for me.
Faye and I,
I'm
yeah,
like,
Faye and I are now completely not friends. Not
Yeah.
smiling friends.
We're
You're
now
not
enemies
smiling
because of this show.
You're not smiling, friends.
We're frowning friends.
Frowning friends.
No, but it'd be interesting because obviously me and you are different ages.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
like,
that's right.
how did you find the show?
Awful. How else can I describe it? I could go further. I won't.
Well, wait a
Why?
minute. Hopefully,
Why
Faye,
specifically?
you could change his mind. Like, hopefully, I changed his mind on Guardians.
I found it went to the lowest common denominator in frame 1, and it went down from there.
Go ahead. What's frame 1 then? You're not spoiling anything. What's frame 1?
No. I can't even remember. I mean, I watched.
Tell him what's frame 1.
Okay, so basically, episode 1 is the pilot episode.
Yeah.
So right before even going to talk about the episode, just for context, it's
Yes.
made by YouTubers.
Yes,
So
okay.
Psychic Pebbles. I don't know what Michael Kosak's YouTube channel is, but he
Okay.
did another another series for Adult Swim called YOLO,
Right.
which I didn't like because it's not really my type of thing.
Sure.
But in the show, it's made by a bunch of YouTubers who I grew up with, who were just basically insane, would have characters
insane in the membrane, insane in the brain,
surreal meta kind of humor. But anyway, episode 1 is the pilot episode of this whole series.
Yeah.
So it's probably the weakest one out of all of them, in my opinion.
Right.
But
That's
the
why I
very
hated it so much. Yeah.
the whole context of the show is you're in a company called Smiling Friends, and you're there to like try and help people smile. That's all you have to do. And we follow 2 people called Charlie and Pim. Pim is my favorite character in this goddamn show, and my baby boy.
Okay.
But basically, they get a call from their boss, and they're like, "Yo, you've got to make sure like this person is smiling," and everyone assumes it's a kid. It's a kid who goes to this house.
Okay.
His mom answers the door. It's this old woman who like walks around like like this. It's really stupid, but she shouts, so she'd be like, "Desmond, come here," kind of thing. And you open the door, and it's just like middle-aged man with a gun to his head.
That's right. That's right. You're gonna make me smile.
I hate life. And then as the episode goes on, they pretty much fail, and he's like, "Right, time to go and do the thing." And then there's like a plot episode, like a plot thing going on where this guy is trying to find who stole his cheese.
Are there a shrimp involved as well?
Yes, a beautiful shrimp boy. And they find out like in the corners of these walls that there's like these little tiny human creature things that have been stealing the cheese, and they ransack the place, and the guy ends up shooting one of the little creatures, and he goes from like really sad and he just smiles and gets his life back together. It's just, I'm not doing this episode justice. You need to go watch it. But I probably would say people like my age more than older generation. Sorry. And I am sorry again, Phil, for putting you through that.
Yeah, I think there's as Faye just mentioned, there's definitely a generational aspect to this. Cool, right? So yeah, as Faye was just mentioning, I think there's very much obviously a generational aspect to this. And I when we spoke about it beforehand, I mentioned, of course, that I used to sit as a young teenager. I used to sit and watch Monty Python on BBC Two, I think it was. And my father and mother were looking at me like I was completely insane, while I was absolutely in bits, laughing from the beginning, from the opening frame to the closing frame, and they just had no concept of what it was about. I think we're in that sort of territory here.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and also I think as well, because like I grew up with all these YouTubers, because it's very YouTube dominated in this like TV show, like Harry Partridge, David Fitch, the Angry Gaming Nerd is in this, and Tomar.
Right.
There's also a guest appearance. Do you know the parrot from Aladdin?
yeah.
He plays I think it's who does he play? It's gonna annoy me.
Wow.
He makes a guest appearance in
Oh,
it, and
wow.
it's really funny. Like no one knew how he got on that show.
That's incredible.
No one knew. But
You know the parrot doesn't exist.
Don't tell her that.
It's not like Santa Claus.
Spoiler.
It's not like Santa Claus.
what?
It's not like Santa Claus.
What? No, but
So yeah.
Hold on. Hey, Jackson, have you ever heard of Smiling Friends?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, you've heard of it though.
Is it like the Happy Tree Friends?
no, Happy Tree Friends is different.
Well, I think it's kind of smiling.
Oh, okay.
Smiling
That's what we
Friends.
were talking about. Okay.
Right, okay.
I was hoping that you get some backup, Faye, but no.
No one has my back here today. Sean, God damn it.
All
One
right.
job.
But we were also talking beforehand. Yes, I think it was about this in terms of the anarchy involved. I mean, it's just completely off the wall, and there are no breaks applied. I don't think.
Well, you were also kind of like just trying to say, like, you know, these cartoons are getting more and more extreme.
That's
you know?
right.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because I mean, like, Sean wants us to watch Big Mouth and stuff like
There's
that.
more
okay.
extreme stuff than Big Mouth.
Okay.
Is
Mr.
there?
Pickles
Mr. Pickles.
from Adult Swim. Mr. Pickles. That's
Okay.
10 times worse than Big Mouth. I've seen that.
Okay.
All right. Well,
But
you know.
I was trying to figure it out though. Where did that start really? And I think maybe we could be talking about sort of Itchy and Scratchy on The Simpsons. Was the first time that they really.
Yeah, because
you know,
like we grew up with the Looney Tunes.
we
so
did.
we were talking
Or
about
Tom and Jerry.
That's
right.
and
Yeah.
Roadrunner,
Yeah, Roadrunner.
which was very violent.
That's
but
right.
that was very violent for us.
But very
But
stylized.
then Itchy and
violence.
Scratchy started slicing each other up in half. You know,
That's right.
and with axes.
I think that's right.
That's where it began.
And is that then the corollary that we come to today? And there's all this wild stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
it could be
mouth.
that. Maybe that's the father. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think. Yeah.
All right. Well, that
So
was Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give it a go. See what you think.
Check it out.
Where can they find it?
It's some episodes are free on YouTube. I think the Halloween special is, but most of them in the UK are on Channel 4. But if you're American, it is on Adult Swim.
Yeah, so Adult Swimming in the States, yeah, Channel 4, yeah, definitely on More 4 I found it, yeah, so it's free to air on that. And if you want to spend your time that way, good luck
If
to
you
you.
want to watch it.
There you go.
So there we go, dude.
All right. So where are we at now then?
We're at box sets now at this point.
Oh, my favorite section of the show. This is where, I mean, box sets are like when you just pick like a show that has a full-on series that hopefully now, surprisingly, some people have not seen, but then again, is that they're enjoying. So I chose for this week the Twilight Zone. Boom. You're in a dimension of sight, no sound, whatever. But either way, is I was saying to Phil when we were talking about it, this show was created in 1959, right?
That's correct.
1959.
Yeah. Wow, that was the
Faye,
first wow is, oh my
1959.
I don't know why, but I thought it was made in the 70s.
God.
No, they kept trying to remake this show
They-
poorly.
They keep revisiting that.
Poorly.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
remade the show like about 3 or 4 times poorly, and never lived up to the original Rod
In
Serling.
fact, I think Spielberg was involved in the cinema release, which is like
The movie
4.
Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
I've
You want to
never
see
heard
something
of
really,
really
scary?
good. It's really good. There are 4
Only
separate.
the opening is.
Well, there are 4 separate stories, as I remember. Yeah,
But they're,
So
they're,
it's
they're,
like
they're
4
those
episodes.
stories. Those stories are based on the originals.
Right.
So those 4 stories are original stories.
Are they right?
That they're
Yeah.
remade.
Right. Okay.
Like the
But
most
the-
popular.
So that
episodes.
Yeah.
they're part of the
But-
series,
but-
then you mean? Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see,
but
right,
but
yeah.
the opening with Dan Aykroyd and Albert Brooks, you know, where they're driving in the car. he says,
Yeah,
You wanna see
were
something really
really scary. That scared the heck out of me.
Exactly, because it's like my point was, what was Albert Brooks waiting for? When he stops the car, he says, "You got to stop the car, right?" He says, "You want me to stop the car?" Yeah, he stopped the car. Okay, I'll stop the car, right? And then Dan Aykroyd says, "You ready?" And then he says, so he puts his arm out. He goes,
Don't
"Yeah."
tell him about that. Don't tell
Scare
him
me.
about that. It's worth. It's
But
worth
then
checking out.
Dan Aykroyd is an alien, like a big blue alien, and he eats his head off and whatever, and stuff like that. And that's the opening of the Twilight Zone movie. Best part of the whole thing. But anyway, 5 series, but the series were about like 29
There's a lot.
episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Damn.
29 half-an-hour episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And stuff. So like Phil hit us off with some
Well,
facts.
what I thought when we decided to discuss this, I thought it's a long time since I've had the chance to watch any of these really. So I thought I need to revisit this. So actually I invested in it because I remember enjoying it just so much back in the day, and it was well worth doing. I think I paid $10.99 for the first season. I think, and there's about 20. I just say about 20 odd episodes. And it was just amazing to go back to the beginning and see the first few. I've watched about 3 or 4. So well produced.
Yeah.
So brilliantly acted by a cast of people, which with each episode, because oh my God, for example, I think it was the second or the third one. I'm sure we're all familiar with Mary Poppins, aren't we? Well,
Yes.
the lead actor in the second or the third episode is a guy called Ed Wynn. And now Ed Wynn, this is all in black and white, obviously, as we said, produced in 1959. And about 5 years later, Ed Wynn is on the ceiling in Mary Poppins because he's laughing so hard and he can't
That
come
is
down
beautiful.
off the ceiling. That's the guy, you know.
Damn.
That's just one example. Who else did I see? I saw Martin
Earl Harlan.
Landau. I saw Doug McClure. I saw Dan Uriah, a veteran of westerns in one
Harleman.
episode. Earl Harleman in the first one. Who
Where
else
is
was it?
everybody?
Martin Landau, who made his name then further on with Mission Impossible, of course.
William Shatner.
William
He
Shatner.
was in like about
so many.
He was in like about
people.
3 to 5 of them.
Damn.
So I guess that was a proving ground of some sort, but it produced
Yeah.
so much good stuff from there. So yeah,
It always had a twist in the tail.
absolutely,
I know,
And
yeah.
everything. It always had a
absolutely.
twist in the tail.
Introduced, topped and tailed every episode by Rod Serling, who I hadn't realised was the writer.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
of at least 80 of the episodes.
Like the most iconic guy.
Absolutely.
Like even my genre, like, because for me, because obviously I wasn't here when it was going on, and I wasn't here for the remakes. Even my generation know. We know
It's a legend.
But
Yeah.
you're a YouTube girl, right? So it's like every year, Twilight Zone has a marathon, like usually like around Halloween and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they have like about a 3 to 5 day marathon and stuff like that. That is free that you can watch on like.
I didn't know on YouTube.
Yeah,
Damn.
Fabulous.
And it's just, I mean, my God, it's just awesome. So, what did you see any episodes or any?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen episodes. Like, one of my favorites is the guy, he freezes time. That one. Have you seen
Yeah.
that one?
Say a little bit more.
He
I
has
think
like
I know what you're talking
a
about.
stopwatch and he stops it and it freezes
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah.
But then eventually it breaks.
Yeah.
And he's stuck. And there's like, I don't know if it got turned into a meme, but he tries to read books, but his glasses break. And he
Oh
just goes,
no!
"No."
That's Burgess Meredith who played the Penguin.
Right.
All right, and
many-
Batman.
many more
But
things,
like
yeah.
what it
Yeah,
was he was this milquetoast who just wanted to read, and he was always reading. And like his wife was she was a crazy woman, and like he worked in a bank, and he decided to lock himself in a bank vault during lunch,
Oh.
and so the world got hit by a nuclear bomb, and so he was the only survivor. And so he's like, oh my God, no. So at first he was like crying, I'm so lonely, whatever. And then he found a library. And then he was like, books. I got time enough at last to read. I mean, he stacked the books all on the stairs and everything. And now what happened was, the setup should be obvious, right? He had bifocal glasses, right? And stuff like that, So he stacks the books up and he's like, ooh, I got this and I got that. I'm going to read this forever and everything. And then he trips and he breaks the glasses.
Oh my God. That's brilliant.
Oh my God. And he's like, no! Time enough last, you little bastard.
Dreadful, isn't it? Brilliantly done, though.
Yeah. But see, it's just that kind of reaction of like those things.
The one I remember from watching it back in the day, I haven't seen it on this review yet, but there's a guy on an airplane, and then there's a cat, there's a creature out on the wing.
The gremlin on the wing. That's William Shatner. Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
Terrified me.
Oh my God. The gremlin on the plane terrified the hell out of me. Because it was a guy in a bear suit. And like the thing about it was that years later, Phil, did you ever see The Shining?
Yes. Wow. Not actually relatively recently, actually, but
Well,
what
my
a great
point is, there's that moment where he's going around rooms,
Yeah.
and then he goes into one room, and there was a guy on a bed with his pants down, right, and there was a guy in a bear suit, and then they both look up like this. But then he had, and then he looked like the gremlin on
Is
the
that the
bed.
reference? Is that the reference? Is it? Oh God.
Well, like that is like referenced everywhere. Like I know so many pieces of media that has that reference in
Yeah.
it, or some type form of Twilight Zone.
Oh no,
Reference.
it was crazy because it was like the gremlin was taunting him, right? And he kept trying to like tell people like somebody's
That's
out
right.
there.
There's something out
And
there.
then you could see it at one point. You could see it jump off the wing, and everything. And it's like you're just like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. This is some crazy ass.
Incredible.
Yeah. But I think he manages to like try to shoot it.
I can't remember how it ends.
Yeah. I think he manages to try and shoot it. Like all the air is going out, but the plane, manages to land.
Right. Okay.
So he manages to save everyone.
Right.
But then they're like, yeah, I don't know what was wrong with that guy. Everybody, he's like, I think I saved him. And then they go around, the camera goes around the plane and shows that the wing was busted.
Right.
So like if he didn't do what he did, then the plane would have
gone
crashed.
down.
Crashed. Right.
And everything like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
Fabulous and iconic. Absolutely iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's like kind of. But see, that's what I was saying. The film is that 1959, 5 seasons. These shows all still hold up. You can still watch them
God, yeah.
today.
Absolutely.
You could just put on any episode. Excuse me.
It's not like even like the effects they use aren't really dated either.
No, and that's what's really great because they use like real bright prosthetics. Like there was an episode called "The Eye of the Beholder," right, where like this woman, you know, like she was supposed to be getting plastic surgery, and you know, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so ugly, and I can't believe this and that," and you know, and the doctors and nurses were all in shadow. Because it's black and white, you're not really thinking too much about it. It's like film noir and everything.
Yeah.
And so they're like, don't worry about it. We're going to fix you. We're going to, you know, make you look great and stuff. So they take off the bandages, and it's this beautiful model woman, and she's like, no, am I still ugly? And then they're like, oh, she's hideous. Right, and then now we can see them, and they're all like aliens with these like busted up faces.
Yeah,
Wow.
You know,
That's
That is
you know,
wild.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at that! Oh my God!
That is
I'm
amazing.
getting those hives. I get those hives when I get scared.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Oh man, it was really beautiful.
But I mean, I think it was emulated by the Outer Limits, wasn't it? A bit further on down.
It wasn't emulated, but it was tried. They tried to copy it.
yeah.
You know, and like, yeah. I mean, that was.
Did that ever succeed? Would you say?
Well, it was a rival
Yeah.
of Twilight Zone, and basically, because Twilight Zone was thankfully because it was first, you know.
Yeah.
But the Outer Limits was like, yeah, but ours has aliens in it. You know, Monsters of Maple Street
No, I can't remember.
and stuff, and this was
I
like.
remember I used to catch it occasionally. It was late night TV over here. That was.
I know, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
sometimes you could just say the title, you know, like The Hitchhiker
Yeah,
or Mirror Image. But Monsters of Maple Street was like we're about like people who don't trust one another, you know, because we also was in the Red Scare era, you know, the communism era.
Oh, of course,
stuff
yeah,
like
that would have played into a lot.
So
of it, of
like
course,
what
yeah,
it was
yeah.
is that you could just do simple things like the lights cut out in your house or they turn on. It's like, hey, why the lights turn on in your house, Jerry?
Right.
Well, what do you mean? I don't know. I don't know why the lights turn on in my house. Oh, what's going on over there? Yeah, what's going on in Jerry's house? And then all of a sudden, the paranoia just like spread like wildfire
Of course, yeah.
and everything. And
yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
as the people are running around like chasing each other, like arguing with each other, the camera pulls back, and it pulls back to the window screen of an alien spaceship. And it's like, yeah, it only takes much.
Wow, amazing.
So like even like it's not really like every episode's a horror. It's more like a social commentary.
Every episode is a social horror commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably
I
true.
mean, like, pretty much it's. Oh my God. Okay, last one is there was this town where they were going to hang a black man, and there was lynch a
Oh.
black man, yeah, and
Okay.
then there was a black priest played by Ivan Dixon from Hogan's Heroes, who
Okay, yeah.
became a director and all that kind of stuff. And the way it was played was that this town night came, and it just kept getting darker and darker, and so it was like nobody could understand why it's getting so dark and everything, you know. And it was supposed to be their racism was so black as their soul
Wow.
that like if they
Wow.
couldn't control it, it would be so black that it'll
Did that-
it'll blank out the sun and
Yeah.
you'll
Did
never
Did that
get.
episode come out like as one of the first episodes, or like during the seasons in the 1950s?
No, in the 50s, yeah.
Really? Damn. Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't thought they would have been able to put something on. Like
No, but
that.
this is the whole point is that like, you know, you had like those people like Gene Roddenberry or Rod Serling who weren't racist, you know, who felt or George Romero when he did Night of the Living Dead, who felt like, you know, I could make something that really said something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I don't think they use like the names, the words or something, but you could just tell these people were racist,
Yeah.
and that their racism was causing the darkness.
That's what I mean. Like, I didn't
Fabulous.
think that, because obviously American history, or not just history in general, like in those days, racism was very apparent.
Yeah.
Still
It's
is
interesting.
today.
We're back into
But
this
that's why it's
scenario.
social commentary, because you're
Yeah.
saying something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you could stop your racism, right? But then they couldn't.
Ah,
So it just kept getting darker and darker until
Wow.
it was just completely black.
Amazing.
damn.
And I think it was called Color Me the Night or something
I want to see that.
and stuff. But
amazing.
but that's what I'm just trying to say. These stories were amazing. You know,
Right,
you
again-
got to see it. I mean,
sounds
it's,
With that
it's one
to-
of those bingeable things that Like when the marathon is on, you can
Never
just
get bored.
you can
Wow.
just put it on and just like
Yeah.
Just,
all day, just
Never get bored.
no.
I tell you now, never get bored.
No.
I
No.
could watch it I could watch it 24 hours and think, well, that was worth it.
And then and the shots were so amazing sometimes too, like the angles and all of that. It was just fantastic. So huge recommended box set.
Massively.
Twilight Zone. I will say that like I think series 4 was kind of a misstep because they got greedy and they tried to make them into hour-long episodes as opposed to half an
really?
hour.
They were trying to add
And-
too much to the episodes.
Yeah, and it didn't work and
Oh,
everything.
right.
And then in 5, they went back to half hours and stuff like that. But
What about the move to colour?
Hmm?
What about the move to colour? Did
They
move
didn't
to
do color, thank God.
Really? So they kept going with black and white, right?
Yeah.
through
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I don't think
Thankfully.
it would work if it
Thankfully.
was in colour.
But that's why,
good.
yeah,
That's good.
exactly, because that's why the other subsequent series didn't work. It was just kind of like, oh, we could just take that theme tune because they owned it, And the last thing I'll say is, you know who was the production company behind Twilight Zone?
Who?
Lucille Ball,
Good grief.
the Desilu Productions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and Desi, because like, did you not see Being the Ricardos, that new movie that came out on Netflix like
No.
last month?
Don't know.
So Lucy Ricardo was behind not just Twilight Zone, but Star Trek.
Wow.
Damn.
Her company invented both Star Trek
Hell
and the
yeah.
Twilight Zone.
We are definitely
Yeah.
not worthy. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to say, man.
That's
Woman was a
amazing.
genius.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the Twilight. Yeah, so that's the Twilight Zone.
Cool.
Damn.
So that brings us on to recommended.
Yes.
Yeah. So we changed the recommended. What did we change it to?
To the boys.
The Boy, Diabolical. My
Mhm.
God. You know,
Joni Christmas. This year.
this is on Amazon, right? And then Faye was saying, I can't find it, but she found
I
it.
found it.
And these are like 15-minute episodes.
15, 20.
And it's kind of like a real warped version of Looney Tunes. Now, nobody knew what to expect because at first we heard, because you and Sean talked about it a couple weeks ago about that they're making the Boys cartoon. And like one episode might have the boys like Butcher and Huey, and
Yeah.
another episode might have a character like the Deep or somebody in it, but it really was like the world of the boys. Right? Have you ever seen the boys? at all?
No, I haven't seen
Still
it.
need
You
to
gotta watch
keep
The
on
Boys.
watching
Yeah.
it.
But so didn't know what to expect. So it was really just kind of like just giving us this warped version of the world. So the idea, that the idea is that there's this drug called Compound V that they extracted from the Homelander, who was like this world Superman. Whatever. But what the government does is that they decide to inject babies with this drug because they want to create superheroes.
Super.
They
It's
end
like
up
a
creating
fun
more
race.
supervillains than superheroes
Oh, right.
and stuff like that, and so they started doing all of this. And so because this is like a worldwide thing, this show kind of like takes a character every week and everything and tells their story.
Yeah.
So like the first one was like
It's like
the guy who worked for them
Yeah,
and the girl with the laser eyes.
So it was like an adoption thing.
Right.
Yeah,
VTech.
because they want
adopt
people to adopt
the
these super
babies.
babies, and they're like, I don't want these. Oh my God. Yeah. Are you gonna talk about that one where they hate all the kids, the reject kids,
Oh my God! Yeah,
like
that
the kid
was
with the
like-
boob eyes.
Yes.
Boob
Oh,
eyes.
there was like an episode that was like in the same style of Rick and Morty. I think it was written by him as well.
I know it was a lot written by Eric Kripke and,
In this
Seth
series,
Rogen.
but it's like these kids were given Compound V, but they got really bad superpowers.
Yeah.
Like one got like tits for eyes. One has like
I got this right.
one's a giant tongue. One is a. I don't think I can say this on YouTube. One of them I can't say on YouTube. I'm not saying it.
One's a ghost girl.
That's actually quite sad.
Right.
Her,
Yeah.
she's actually. I really want a series about her.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
but they make a plan to kill their parents.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, but
Because the
ending's
parents
sad.
have rejected them because they were not the superhero you promised me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
Yeah,
these were the
yeah.
reject kids.
Okay.
And so it starts off with the ghost girl, and then she ends up finding her tribe of these other kids who were all like
The
even worse off.
narrator. The best
I
guy.
am the narrator. I tell
His
the story.
superpower is basically he narrates what's happening. That's
Oh,
what a
that's
superpower
funny.
is.
That is funny.
It's brilliant.
So, wow.
And
So we've got a recommendation.
so we got
going
these
there then.
kids running around. So this episode runs around killing their parents.
Yes.
Guns, lasers, whatever,
Water.
and stuff like that. And wait, they were all taken out by somebody. What was it?
Yeah,
was it
so
Homelander or-
Homelander and the VTech Corporation like gunmen basically find them and kill them all except for one,
the Ghost Girl.
the ghost, and it's really sad. Like I actually want there to be a series, but I really like that story. Like I'd
Okay.
pay to see a series on her.
Okay, yeah.
And then there was
But this is sorry to be a bit dummy, but this is an animation series.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
animated.
Oh,
any
it
any
can't be
particular
anything else.
style? I mean, how do you like the
Oh,
style?
there's different. So like you've got like more kind of inspired old animation, more cartoony. Then there's like that anime one, which is not. I don't like that episode.
So they're varied, do they, by
Yeah.
episode? Ah,
yeah, that's
okay,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
The first one felt very much Looney Toony.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
And
that
stuff like complete with the that's all, folks.
Yeah.
And but then there was the one with Aquafina, with the turd girl. I didn't even know that's what she was supposed to be.
No, I didn't like that episode.
I know I didn't like it. It was disgusting. And like,
It was.
Yeah.
and then the guy goes, "Yeah, what is?" Yeah,
She basically.
manifested turds with faces.
Wow.
And I was like, no, because like when I was watching it, it was in this
Mind you,
really cute art style.
that is an emoji.
That's right. They look like them emoji turds.
Yeah, but like when I was watching it, I was just like, what? What is happening?
I didn't know, man. It's time to stop watching at that point. But
But
yeah,
you
I skipped
recommend
that
it's
episode.
worth a look by the sound of it, yeah.
it's diabolical, man. It
Yes.
says what it
Yeah.
is on the tin.
Right, yeah.
And I think most people were looking forward to it, especially after Invincible. You know, you would look forward to this. And
If you want more world building, more
you won't
character
be
development,
disappointed.
watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And where can we see that?
On
Amazon
Prime.
Prime.
Sorry, you
Amazon
said that
Prime.
I don't know why it took you so long to find that then.
I think it was just mine was just being stupid.
Oh, okay.
Just
'Cause
being
I didn't think
difficult.
I didn't think Amazon Prime separated itself from US to UK and everything like
No,
that.
because I know UK
Not sure.
scheduling's awful, but I was kind of like, I think I might have spelt it wrong because I am dyslexic. So sorry, everyone.
Fair play. Yeah.
Fair play. So, anyway, this has been TV Squad
It has.
and everything. And, let us know, 3 or 4, we're still here and everything.
With the triad, man.
The triad, right?
Yeah, the Glasses
Triad,
Squad.
because it's all about the Illuminati. Thank you, Faye.
No problem.
Thank you, Phil.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you, Chase. And
Absolutely.
everything
Thank
like
you.
that.
Thank
And
you,
so
Chase.
until the next time, what do we say? We're going to flick these channels until we find something good.
Yeah.